Okay, this is what Nayland Maths thinks might happen for achieved criteria. Now I'm thinking that in here it could actually be rectangular and triangular and actually reading from graphs. Okay, but I think if you really just want to pass, because this is really hard for you, not because you're lazy, make sure that on your calculator you can do binomial, Poisson and normal, and perhaps make sure that you can do rectangular. If the triangular and reading from the graph is beyond you, fear not, try on these to get merit. Because with your binomial and your Poisson, if you can regurgitate the conditions and context, you'll get merit. And then if you get 5 marks for a question and then get one calculation correct somewhere else, you get 3 marks for that. You'll have 8 marks, which will pretty much guarantee a pass. So if you're really struggling, please learn the conditions of the binomial and the Poisson off by heart, be able to say them in context, get that right, and make sure you can do normal, and you'll be sweet. Okay? Alrighty, for merit. Hard to read, sorry. Okay. There's a whole lot more for merit, a whole lot comes into it. Continuity correction is merit. Combining Poisson normal and binomial is merit. Calculation of sample statistics to estimate the corresponding population parameters, e.g. using sample data to estimate pi for binomial and lambda for Poisson. Cool. What that means is they might give you data in a graph, or they might give it to you in a table, and you have to understand that, you know, with your graph like that you can read probabilities off it. Inverse normal, so that's when you're given the probability and you've got to work backwards. Inverse normal button on your calculator. Sum of 2 normally distributed independent variables, so those are on your formula sheet, so that's all merit. But remember, merit's also describing conditions of the other. Alright, what about excellence? Try and pick a good colour here. Okay, so for excellence it's just more complicated problems really. And the inverse Poisson. So I've gone on about that with the formula sheet. So you're using your natural logs, I think, for the Poisson. Oh, it doesn't say inverse binomial, but you never know, you could get that. Linear combinations of normally distributed independent variables, so those formulas are on the formula sheet. Selecting and justifying the use of a model. So you actually need to select it and justify. And sometimes questions will have an S on the end, models. So you have to then choose 2 to get the E. Okay? So the justification, the clarity of language will get you the E. If you don't write the words, if you don't explain why you chose a distribution, if you don't justify it, you won't get the E. Okay, done.